phrase, phenomenal woman, coined and made popular by Maya Angelou, stands for. Mrs. Verlie Matthews Mayo married my father, Willie James Matthews, at age 17. By the time when she was 25, they had 7 children. So here's the rundown. Starting with the oldest, when my mom was 25, the kids were 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. And so for the last 3 months of each year, my 2 youngest brothers are the same age, which they really love. So there was so much love between my parents, so much love. So we did not say that was a phenomenal start for such a young woman. When I was 6 years old, my parents separated, then later divorced, and she was left to raise 7 young stair-steps on her own. In her take-no-prisoners style, she stepped up to the plate and started swinging. We grew up in a housing project in Memphis, Tennessee, on the north side of town. We always had clean clothes, plenty of food to eat, and the house was always clean. We played hopscotch, stickball, dodgeball, and jump rope outside. And promptly at sundown, she came to the door and called one time, and one time only, and we all hustled in the house and washed up for dinner. She could do so much with so little. We ate whatever was served, or we didn't eat. Then we did our chores, got our clothes ready for school or church, took our baths, and went to bed. We got new clothes 4 times a year: Christmas, Easter, summer, or around 4th of July, and when school started in the fall. My mother was a talker, so when we did something wrong, unless it was really bad, we didn't get a whipping right then. We got a good talking to. After a while, we'd much rather get a beating than to be talked to and talked to and talked to. Right. Now, periodically, when she got tired of talking, every few months or so, we would have this group whipping. We had stairs in our house, so she lined us up on the stairs from the oldest to the youngest. She got her a big glass of ice water. I'm not kidding you guys. Put a towel on her shoulder, and she sent us outdoors for a switch, and you had to come in with the right switch. You didn't come in with the old brown switch that was gonna break. You had to get the good, sturdy green switch. And you really wanted to pick at least a halfway decent switch, because you didn't want her to have to go outside and get the switch. So she would get the switches or the belt as we got older. And we would line up for our whipping. Now, while each one of us was getting our beating, she would be telling us, "This is for the old and the new. Didn't I tell you I was going to get you last time?" And she would go down the list, and she would remember. So all those times while she was talking and talking, then when you were getting your beating, she was reminding you of all those things that she told us not to do. So we were very well behaved and disciplined kids. She kept a tight rein on us. There were 7 of us. She had to. My mother is a staunch advocate of education. She wanted all her children to graduate high school and go to college. We all graduated high school, and 3 of the 7 of us attended college. My mom was active in the PTA in both our elementary and high schools. She was the president of the PTA in my high school. When any of us did anything wrong in school, it usually made it home before we did. And you know what happened when we got there. Just the teachers saying they were going to call our mother nipped most things in the bud before they got started. My mother also became an active member of the Title I education program. She went to Board of Education meetings, traveled to conferences around the country, learning and participating in programs to make the school systems better for poor and minority students. My mother loves people, and she has a great capacity for compassion and is the most tolerant woman I know. Our house was the Dewdrop Inn. Anybody with a sad story kids and all, down on their luck, friends, family, or foe. She didn't discriminate. If they needed a bed and a meal for the night, or the week, or the month, they were always welcome. It seemed like there was always somebody on a pallet in our living room on the floor. She has always been there for us through the good, bad, and ugly, with her unconditional love and unwavering support. My mother hastened justice, so when the neighborhood grocery store chain fired all the black cashiers from the store in our neighborhood, my mother organized a successful boycott that lasted for weeks and resulted in some of the girls getting their jobs back. Thus began her career as a community organizer. She then took on Memphis Housing Authority, of which we were tenants, for the unfair eviction policies. She organized public housing residents to stop the violation of tenants' rights. She later served as president of that citywide organization. She was one of the leaders of the grassroots organization that organized voters and successfully elected the first African-American mayor of Memphis, Tennessee. She served as the precinct captain in our local voting place for over 40 years. As I said, my mother is and always has been a phenomenal woman. When I was going through the most difficult time in my life, with a serious substance abuse problem, she stopped enabling me. She showed me tough love by banning me from her home until I got help for my problem. And she took care of my son during my recovery. That was the best thing that she could have done for me. My son and I are doing well. He graduated from Central High School, subsequently from Yale, and he's a financial analyst at TIAA Craft. So, you guys, he's in your field. I wouldn't be who I am today without the unconditional love and support she has given me all my life. I will celebrate 17 years clean and sober on September 13th, and I would never have made it without her help. My mother has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is watch this strong, beautiful woman lose pieces of herself. It is so painful to watch. I can't imagine how scared she must be, because I know she has to know, at least some of the time, what's going on. I know many difficult days and difficult decisions lie ahead, but today, I just want to celebrate the phenomenal woman that my mother is. I pray that I can live up to the standard she set